It work better on Facebook. It's on YouTube. We got a lot of people down at the conference said they couldn't what's it called hear the class or they don't really do Facebook. So who are those children all dressed in white? God is gonna trouble the water. Look like it might be those right, yeah. That's gonna charge my phone. Where in the water? House of Israel congregation, House of Israel Cincinnati Congregation. We're gonna be live on YouTube. Rise of your elders. Oh, air. The remote right there on the table. Now my friend, how you doing?
Shabbat Baruch Israel. Bihayad Yah. Call to be heard on high. Give thanks to Yah this day, for his mercy endures forever. Bless Yahweh. Worship him in truth, strength of body and spirit. May the Shabbat be blessed for Israel by the hand of Yahweh. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
First and foremost, let us give all thanks, all praise, all glory to the Holy One of Israel, whose name alone is Yah, again by saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And Yah is righteous all the time. Blessed be his holy name. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for another day in the land of the living. Day that we have not seen, and the day we will not see again in its entirety. This is the day that Yah has made. We should be glad and rejoice in it. His holy Shabbat. Hallelujah. We want to thank and praise Yah for being Yah, for being the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that in them is. By his divine will and divine power are we here today, each and every one of us and the world itself. So amongst them that know, we praise him, we give him thanks, and we glorify him and him alone.
Hallelujah.
Let us turn our scriptures as we begin to proceed. We will first and foremost go to Psalms 122. Hallelujah. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of Yahweh. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is built as a city that is compact together, where the tribes go up, the tribes of Yah unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of Yahweh. For there are set the thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. They shall prosper that love thee. Peace be within thy walls, and prosperity within your palaces. For my brother and companion's sake, I will now say, peace be with thee. Because of the house of Yahweh Elohim, I will seek thy good. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let us turn to Psalm 92. Psalm 92. Psalm 92. It reads as follows. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh, and to sing praise unto thy name, O Most High, to show forth your loving kindness in the morning, and your faithfulness every night, upon an instrument of 10 strings, upon the psaltery, upon a harp with a solemn sound. For thou, Yah, hast made me glad through thy works. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. O Yah, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knows not, neither does a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. But thou, Yah, art most high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. My horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of a wild ox. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. Mine eye also shall see my ears shall hear the desire of the wicked that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh shall flourish in the courts of our Elohim. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing, to show that Yahweh is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Psalms 23. We next turn to Psalms 23. I'm going to read. For Yah is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahweh forever. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Finally, let us turn to Exodus 20th chapter. Here we find the words of Yah, which he wrote with his finger upon 2 tablets of stone, delivered them into the hand of his servant Moses, bring down and teach them to the children of Israel, that he may establish an everlasting covenant with them, signifying that he would always be our Elohim, and we would always be his people. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh the Elohim, which have brought thee out the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no Elohim before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them. I, Yahweh the Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy to the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh the Elohim in vain, but Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh the Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor the stranger that is within your gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and he rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh that giveth thee. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunder and the lightning, the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. They said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, that his fear may be before your faces, that you sin not. Hallelujah! 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 Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yahweh. Yah is righteous all the time.
Day and night.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Any comments this week at this time? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
I want to thank Yahweh. Y'all so kind and good. He got us through another cycle. That's one reason why it's so important to get out on the Sabbath day and give him his glory. Because we have completed another cycle in the land of the living. And we should come and glorify Yahweh for us to know what we know. For us to know that we done completed another cycle, and it's time to give him his praise, his honor, and his glory for allowing us to see another cycle, another week. And Yahweh has been so good to me and mine this week. We are relatively healthy. Relatively is an ultimate word there. But I say he has kept us. And I'm just so glad to be here. I want to thank Yahweh by saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And yes, our praise is due to the Father. And relatively healthy is better than not being healthy at all.
It is. I take it. I will take it.
I will take that. Relatively healthy, I will take that.
Yeah.
And I will take that because this week, a lot of our people are not so healthy.
Yes, sir. Pass it on, brother.
This congregation and other congregations. They're ill
Yeah.
and suffering from illnesses. And the Almighty, we praying, is stabilizing them and bringing them back
Yes, sir.
to health of body, strength of body, and spirit. But a lot of our people are here and other cities. They are
Yes, sir.
dealing with turmoil in
Yes, sir.
their midst.
Yes, sir.
Some death, the loss of life. Some, like I said, illnesses. And we praying that the Almighty is looking down and ready to give us the comfort and give them the comfort that they need, and they be their healing medicine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And we're praying and ask that for them where it's obvious. But we're praying and asking that and giving up those offerings of sentiments of prayer for all of us.
Yes,
as they said, relatively, we all
Relatively.
are relatively.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We not whole. We relatively.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And with the mercy of the Almighty,
Yes, sir.
we going day by day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're going day by day with the mercy of the Almighty.
If I may say,
Yes, sir.
I'm reminded of Job, and with Job, his physical condition was deplorable. He sat in the dust all day. And one thing that Satan couldn't take from Job, he could not take his spirit to serve the Creator. And so that's how we have to be. A lot of times we get down on our physical outlook on life, and we forget about the spiritual outlook on life. And that's why we have stories like Job, and stories like the king who prayed to Yahweh and he added 15 more years onto his life, because your physical body is just a temporal state at its best. But your spiritual body, mind, and soul, it could last for everlasting, from eternity into eternity. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And that's what we should live in the hopes of,
Yes, sir.
is that the spirit,
Yes.
which as we always say, is the spirit that maketh a man. And when we say man, we mean anything in that capacity, anything living and breathing,
Yes.
in the sense of what he called Adam.
Yes, sir.
Because it's the spirit, it's not the physical. The emphasis is on the spirit, because you're not truly living.
Yes, sir. No.
You're not truly living
No.
if you're not living in the spirit.
Yes, sir.
If the spirit is not with you, and you're not truly living in the holiness, if the spirit is not with you.
True. So true.
So it is the spirit that we exercise. As you said, Job realized this and reflected on this. And then our father Abraham, I want us to see what he said. Because he was known as a friend to Yah.
Yes, he was.
Because it's so the truth, and that's why we would deal with many things. I've now come to know that life is precious, but in accepting life, you have to accept the day of one's death. It's inevitable.
So true.
Father Job said that. He said that's a discharge nobody gets out of.
No way around.
And we link up two things. First, let's go to Genesis. Third chapter.
Hallelujah.
Verse 17, and this is what the Almighty decreed. This is the message he gave to the first man.
Genesis 3, verse 17.
Let's start at verse 1.
Hallelujah. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have Elohim said, shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Now, for a lot of people today, this is something for them that's far-fetched. Because a lot of people say, and they'll say, well, that's why I don't believe in that book. Because ain't no serpent, what we call today a snake. Ain't no snake ever walked around like no beast. They say they crawl. I said, well, yeah, but was you there with the very first one? Was you there?
Nope.
Was you there with the very first serpent?
No.
And there's factual things in the earth that there are some serpents that still walk around on all fours.
Yes, sir.
Am I telling the truth?
Yes, sir.
There's some serpents that still walk around on all fours. They have the nature of what we call, see, it's just semantics. We call them snakes, but they have the nature of a snake. They operate like a snake.
That's right.
They call them, in the Galapagos Island, they call them dragons.
Yes, sir.
They make the same snake noise. They use their tongue to guide them as they walk with their head down.
Yes, sir.
They're just elevated on all fours.
They got venom.
But they are beasts, like beasts. But they are in the serpent family. So, is the Almighty book as far-fetched as people think? No, it's not.
Not at all.
Not at all. So at one time, this serpent was very much like all other beasts. But one thing about this serpent is, it said he was what?
More subtle than any beast of the field.
He was always more subtle. He was always more cunning. There was always something about him. And even when you look at him today, the way he moves and the way he operates, there's something about him. He's there. That's how subtle he is. He's so subtle that he's there and you won't even know he's there. You walk right over him
Yes, sir.
and you won't know he's there. Because that's how cunning he is. He does things in a cunning fashion. Well, this is his nature. And this subtle beast, this serpent, came across who?
The woman.
Go ahead.
And said unto the woman, Yea, have Elohim said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman.
And let me tell you something about this as well. I wanted to speak on some things.
Hallelujah.
They say this ain't, again, I can't get with this. I can't get with this. No snake, no serpent can talk to a person. But I know men in modern times, in today's times, they have video circulating. A person had taught their dog how to sing a song. It was a popular song. And it was a video, it was on Facebook. And it went around, they put the music on, and you heard the dog, and the dog was, yeah, 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 yeah. And you didn't know exact words, but you knew about what he was doing with the music. You knew exactly what he was singing. You said, man, what the? And he taught that beast how to sing that song. Where you will understand what he was doing. This is possible. This is possible. They do it with birds all the time. Yes, thank you. With a little bird parrot. Huh? Huh? You get that parrot, put him up there, you teach him all kind of things. Not only Polly want a cracker, there's Polly a tell on him. Frank was in the house. Frank was in the house. He said, who is Frank? My name Eddie. Frank was in the house. That's all they say. Frank was in the house. You say, who is Frank? Who is this Frank he keep talking about?
Woman, come here.
Yeah, woman, come in. Or your woman's phone and Frank's number's on there. Oh, who is Frank? But they'll tell on you. So it's capable. It's more than possible. It has been done.
So true.
So, because I want to dispel myths. So, if it had been done in our time, then it was more than capable of being done in the original creation, when things were totally different anyway than how we know it today.
Yes, sir. Everything was splendid.
Everything.
Everything was splendid.
Everything.
Even man.
Even man. Everything.
Yes, sir.
Everything had and that's how you read this, everything had what they call a fall from grace.
So true. So true.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the beginning, y'all said everything he looked at, he said, it is good. It is good. It is good. It is good. Then man, he said, and he is very, after man, he said, it is very good. But everything at some point in history took a turn. A few weeks ago, we said in class that every plant had an original source. Even if it's a hybrid today. At one time, it had an original source. And I was driving that next and the herbalist and everything. That is exactly, I said, boy, y'all is something. That's exactly what she came on and said. She said every plant have an original source. There's not nothing in the earth that it didn't have an original base. The only thing that has happened is man has been able to take that original base and reconfigure it. That's the knowledge he's been able to gain to get the desired things out of it that he wants. So he want to grow it a little taller. He's messed with the DNA structure of it that it grow taller. If he wanted to grow a little wider, he's tinkered with it. But in tinkering with it, he's upset the balance. Yes, sir. So everything has had a fall from grace. But this serpent spoke to this woman. And he said unto her again.
And he said unto the woman, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for Elohim doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as Elohim, knowing good and evil.
We get the first glimpse of his nature and his subtlety. This is why he's poor little serpent. This is why he's often said that he was the vessel. As the elder said, talking about vessels. This is why I said he was the vessel in which the spirit of Hasatan manifested. Because Hasatan, the adversary. Satan, the adversary. This creature had that spirit because he came in an adverse position, opposing position to the Creator. And it wasn't flashy. It wasn't flashy. Just like today, when he's working, so that we can start to battle him better. When he's working, it ain't nothing flashy, like in a movie where they make this character and he come out and he in all black and he doing a lot of things. It's very subtle. And it's not that he even told her what to do. He did something that's greater. And that is he cast doubt in her mind. Did y'all hear me?
Yes.
Sir.
He cast doubt in her mind. Some people call it second guessing yourself. But he cast doubt. Is that really right? And that door of doubt can open up to disbelief. Disbelief can open up to what? Full-fledged rebellion. See, when you get to rebellion, he's walked away. Satan has walked away.
Wheels in motion.
The wheel's already in motion.
Already going.
He don't have to stay there. Once he's cast the doubt, and you fed on the doubt, and the doubt has got the disbelief, once you get to the rebellion, he's gone. Because in his cunningness, that's when he's trying to give himself, like a serpent, he's trying to give himself a way out.
Yes, sir.
You ever seen a serpent? He always trying to give himself a way out. Well, he's trying to give himself, Satan, he's trying to give himself a way out. Well, yeah, but I didn't make him do it. You can't hold that against me. He did it because he
That's right.
said, is it so?
Everything else on his own.
Is it so or is it not so? He made up his own mind.
Yes, sir.
Is it the truth or is it not the truth? Well, he made up his own mind.
He might have opened the door, but you had to step in.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, I cracked it.
He opened
He
it.
did.
He the one walked through it.
He blasted it wide open.
Yes, sir.
See, it's important to understand, for us to understand, this is his nature, this is how he works. Because so we can have a guard. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise,
Because, go.
she took of the fruit thereof and did eat,
Because
and
now-
gave also unto her husband gave also to her husband with her, and he did eat.
Because now, once he put that doubt there, she looking at things and thinking upon things much more what? Much more differently.
Yes. She said.
Does he really love you? You put enough doubt there, she started looking at him like,
You don't love me.
does she really? You put enough doubt there, he started looking. Same thing they've been doing. But because doubt is there now, they see it in a whole new light. Is this really the place for me? Same place they've been at. But because doubt is there. Is this really the truth? Same truth. But because some doubt has been placed there, they start looking at it much more differently. And when she looked at this tree and saw that it was desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit and did eat, and gave it also to her husband with her, and he did eat. Go ahead.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yahweh walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Elohim amongst the trees of the garden.
Just stand with the word of Almighty. That's how people, when doubt is cast, that's what people, they run off and they find something else. I found another book. I found another thinking. Oh, my eyes is really open now. This is so much better. What I have now. Verse 8.
And they heard the voice of Yahweh walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Elohim amongst the trees of the garden.
They heard the voice of Yahweh walking in the cool of the day. And when they heard his voice, they hid themselves amongst the trees. Now here's the first glimpse that we know the Almighty can manifest himself in the physical. But if he just spirit, where you know to hide at?
Right. What you hiding from?
What you hiding from? Huh? When it said they heard his voice emanating from a certain direction that they knew he was in, and that direction is where they went opposite from and tried to hide themselves amongst the trees.
That's right.
They tried to hide themselves from his physical manifestation to them. Yes, he was physically manifested to them. And they tried to run from that. Yes. Because they know not the book. Yes. But go ahead. And
Verse 9.
we know that to be true, and we can back that up, but go ahead.
Verse 9. And Yahweh Elohim called unto Adam,
He called unto Adam,
and said unto him, Where art thou?
not like he was ignorant of knowing, he just wanted him to come out. Sometimes when you read phrases like this, you have to know this what it is in literary writing. This is figurative, or not even figurative. It'll come to me, but it's a speech where I ask a question, rhetorical. He know where he at. He know where he at.
That's right.
He wanted him to present himself. That's why he said, where are thou at?
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself.
And I tried to hide from you.
And he said, Who told thee thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee thou shouldest not eat? And the man said,
Uh-oh.
The woman.
Hold on. You went outside of me to get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You didn't wait on me to give it to you. Did y'all see that?
Yes.
Because wisdom was with Yah in the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Right?
That's right.
So it's his to give. But what happened is man went outside of the Most High and went and grabbed the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and obtained it. Something that really, in man's hands, have become a powder keg. So with his knowledge of good and evil, he's done a lot of harm to himself and to the world,
Yes, sir.
which the Almighty has placed him in. But the Almighty asked him, he said, who told you you was naked? We never had that conversation. Have you eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that you should not eat?
And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me the tree, and I did eat.
Oh, we're getting into something now.
Mm.
Huh? Pass that buck. Now
Yes, sir.
we getting ready.
Pass it right
The
along.
game show pass that buck getting ready to come on. He said, that woman.
It was her.
Huh? That woman that you gave me. Huh? That you gave me. She did influence me.
And Yahweh said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent
Yep.
beguiled me,
There we go.
and I did eat.
And now you went to the woman. What you do, little lady? Well, the serpent came to me. And he beguiled me. And that's why I ate. Pass the buck. Huh? That's why I said the Almighty book we're about to see though. It's the beauty of it, just the message of it. Just the difference. I'll say it again. New Testament does not teach the practice of self-accountability. But from the beginning to the end of the Holy Scriptures, that's what it's about. It is about self-accountability.
Hallelujah.
Taking things upon yourself.
That's right.
Ultimately, with all the influences, all the forces, everything that's out there, ultimately, the buck stops with you.
That's right.
It stops with you. It stops with me. So she said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
And Yahweh said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Now we have the modern day creature that's crawling around our gardens and our lawns and deserts. Now we have him in the state that he's in. And what?
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
And that's why you sisters and a lot of women who not into certain things have a disdain for the snake.
Men too.
A lot of men too. Yes. Yes, a lot of men too have a disdain for a snake. The woman and her seed. I watched my mother stand up to a big 100-pound Rottweiler. Confronted right there in the front yard. I ain't gonna lie, I'm in the screen door. I'm looking out like, you, hey, get it. You gone. You bad enough. And then back down from it. But I can go in that same front yard and grab me a little bitty guard snake, no bigger than that, and dangle it if I was a bad child. And she would fly in the house and not come back out. And not come back out. Because her disdain. Because this nature right here, what the Almighty set in motion. And that is what?
I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it was thou taken.
And now, and this statement is profound because the Almighty did something great here. He said, now shall curse is the ground for his sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. Now, when this phenomena of changing the original nature of agricultural and plants with modern day man, this started with ancient man. That's why you have one of the original corns. What color was it?
White. Oh, it was black.
It was purple. It's that purple, what them purple tortillas is made out of.
Black corns.
What they call blue and purple. They call it blue and some call it black. But the original maize, the maize that was originally grown here in the Americas, that's it.
Wow.
That's it. Yes. What you get when you get in white and yellow, you get a derivative of where they took that original one and started planting to make a different kind of corn. And then you got the colors of white and yellow. And then along with that, you got sweet, where it was very sweet, and where it wasn't so sweet. This is what they started doing with the seed. And they did this thousands of years back.
So you say, just like us, there was, as they say, man and mankind. That was the original color of the corn. So the crop that we get now are albino, right? So the yellow and the white.
Just think about it. Just think about it. See, Almighty is universally consistent. You just think about it. What's the original man?
Black. Dark skin.
The earth, which would be dark, right?
And yes. So the lesser he is of color, the farther away he is of what? His originality.
But I thought that started with Noah. I thought Noah kid, one of his kids were albino or something.
No, he ain't no albinos. All his children were black like him. Now one would be cursed. And then later on, down the line, some things would happen, but all his kids were black. Ham, Shem, Yafet, they all were black. But and we can talk about it. I just want to establish this. Every fruit, every green herb, you look for the nutrients of it by its colorization. The darker it is, when you go to buy a cucumber, you want the cucumber to be, you want its green to be almost black.
Yeah.
That's the one you pick. See, many of people are going there shopping, they'll say, "Ooh, look at that." And they'll put it back to get the one where it's green and then it's starting to turn yellow and then it's lightening up. Oh, this is the one I want. But no, you want the one that is the most vibrant color of green, deep green, greens. That's what you want to pick, because that's where it's showing you it's nutrient based. That's why they say that nutritionally it's really nothing. Iceberg lettuce. Because it's in the lettuce family, its leaves are very light. Almost white. There's other lettuces, here's a lettuce and lettuce varieties that you get, its leaves are very dark. And them the romaines and the other ones, them the ones that have a higher nutritional value. I speak all that to say this because when the Almighty said this to him, he started telling him things in the agricultural chain would change. And you're going to start by the sweat of your brow, you'll live. But it's a more demanding life now. Used to just grow. It's what they call wild.
Now you gotta cultivate it.
Now you have to cultivate it. In the sweat of our face, here you eat what?
Bread.
And I use maize or I use corn because what does corn, what does that give you? It don't just only give you corn. What does that give you? It gives you corn what?
Flour.
Meal. It gives you flour. What does flour do? I know you think I'm off track, but I'm trying to put this in motion for you. That's why I'm teaching it like this. What does flour give you? Flour give you your what? Bread.
Yes, sir.
So do you see what the Almighty is saying to him? Because that was the mainstay crop in early man. That was the big crop. That was the boom with the migration and how man was spread. That was the big crop. Because of all the things you could get from it. You can even get energy from corn. So in the sweat of thy face you eat thy bread, till you do what?
Return unto the ground.
For out of the
Waste.
For out of the
Out of
ground,
it wast thou taken.
for thou art.
Dust, and unto dust shalt thou return.
So this goes back. I know you thought I left the original track, but this is what the Almighty had ordained. He never ordained for us to concentrate on our physical being, because he said, from dust you came. And eventually you're going to go back to that same dust. So what you need to concentrate on with the life that I give you, no matter how long that life is your spiritual being. And not only your spiritual being, your obedience and your walk with me. Did that make sense? Because from dust you are. Huh?
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I created you from.
Dust.
Is that what he said?
Yes,
He
sir.
formed him from the dust. And he was a soul, but he was not a living soul till he breathed in him the breath of what? Till he
Life.
breathed into him the ruach, the wind, the breath, the spirit. Then he became living. And it is the spirit where the Almighty speaketh to a being. It is the spirit that you must bring into submission and into oneness with the Creator. For when you bring the spirit into oneness with Yah, then the body will follow. But so many people are living for the body. For the body. Then secondarily, for the spirit. So many people are living to pleasure the body and not the spirit.
Is there a way to do it?
Huh?
Is there a way to do it?
Yes.
I just heard that today, and that's somebody saying you're not giving all to him, you're doing everything else that you're doing. You should be giving him his all. So is that what Abraham did and Moshe did? They gave their all to him?
Yes. This is why the commandment is not just a suggestion. This is why the commandment is, and thou shalt love, Moses said, thou shalt love Yahweh with all thy heart, all thy soul, and all thy might. What does that sound like doing?
Everything.
That sounds like giving all of you to him. And when you, that's why we say when you give all yourself to him, then what room is there for any other deity left in your being? When everything belongs to him.
Is that why you love Abraham?
Then the Almighty would tell her, as you're speaking about Father Abraham, let's go to the 18th chapter of Genesis. See, you have to speak. Y'all stay with me today. We have to speak on this. Because I'm going to tell you something right now that I know is happening in Israel and in the world. And we spoke on it last week. We want to bring back a good report. Like Joshua. But then they didn't make it. Did y'all enjoy that did? Did you enjoy yourself?
Yes, sir. Hallelujah.
We've met another fellow brother out of North Carolina. And he was in the Christian church.
Go ahead.
And now he says he's seen the light of the Almighty Yah. And he turned that loose. Yes, he did, didn't he?
Yes,
Huh?
he did.
Even though he brought church to the gathering, huh? Yeah, we had church in him, huh? All I need to do is take that little keyboard down there and hit them keys. He would have been gone, Jack. He'd probably still be going right today.
Oh, let y'all get to hear some of that. Watch.
But it was a great event. We hope to build on it. Hope to do some better things. And we've been saying that, but it's coming upon us to make that happen. Hope to do some better things. But the spirit was very good and very high.
Yes, sir.
So we enjoyed ourselves immensely. And it wasn't the biggest as far as numbers, but it just had a whole nother spirit about it. A whole nother spirit about it. And that's what we talking about. You got Genesis 18.
Yes, sir.
Let's start first verse. Can my brother ask a question? We verify that too.
Hallelujah. Genesis chapter 18, verse 1. And Yahweh appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day.
Who sat in the tent door?
Abraham.
Huh?
Hey.
So we can break this down. All you're get you understanding. No, this ain't where he first met him. He had met him before. He already done met him.
That's how he knew who he was.
That's how he knew he was. He already done met him. He already know him. Huh?
Yes, sir.
But go ahead. And Yahweh did what?
And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him.
He saw how many? He saw 3 men.
And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground.
When he saw them, let me ask you something. You ever seen spirit? Ever seen a ghost?
Yeah.
Ever seen something that's invisible? Are you seeing the invisible? Ever seen something that was invisible? I haven't.
I can't tell no lie on the Sabbath day.
I've only seen.
I was dreaming of sleep.
I've only seen what has some kind of dimensionality to it. Whether 2 or 3, but it has some kind of dimensionality to it. Something that's tangible.
Yeah.
This is what he's seeing. He's seeing something that's tangible. He's seeing something that if he does, he can reach. He can look, as the one video said that my brother sister sent me where he said, your God ain't real because he's not real to you because you ain't seen him, but he's real because he have been seen.
Yes, sir.
By men that would not lie.
That's right.
By men that would not make this up. By men that have clean enough eyes and a clean enough spirit to behold him. He have not been seen by us because we have not been clean enough to be seen.
That's right.
But he has been seen.
So true.
He has dwelt amongst men.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Because he wouldn't have let nobody put it in the book if he had. And it was not in the form of the Son. God the Father, God, no. When he was God, if you want to use, when he was God, he was God. If he God, let him be God.
That's right.
So Abraham saw him with 2 in the physical, with 2. And I got to teach this because it's camps now. Believe it, you're going to go around. And they ain't going to change because I'm saying this today. But like we said down in Atlanta, when you know what you know, you know what you know.
That's right.
And they ain't going to change, but guess what? Neither is this book. And neither am I. And this book is saying he was manifested in the physical. Right here, the Father Abram in the oaks of Mamre, as he sat in his tent door, he looked up and he saw these 3 men. And he bowed himself to these 3 men. And he even started having a conversation amongst these men. For he said, my master, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from your servant. Let me fetch you a little water. How you going to give the wind water?
No.
And let me wash your feet. How you going to wash the feet of the wind? Where am I washing that? If it's just wind, I might be thinking I'm washing the feet. I'm washing his hands. His legs. This got to make sense, and the only way it makes sense is that you let the book tell you what it's telling you, and that is, here he's dealing with somebody that's just as much physical as he is.
Yes, sir.
So stop teaching. He's just a spirit.
That's right.
And you must worship him in spirit and truth. Because he's more, y'all, is more than just a spirit.
Yes, sir, he is.
and rest yourself under this tree. In other words, sit down. This is a nice shaded tree. Not that you need any. You block out the sun. But this is a nice shaded tree. Very comfortable. Sit down right here and rest yourself. And I will fetch you a morsel of, what are you going to fetch him, brother?
A morsel of bread.
Huh? Because bread, as we said earlier, bread is the what?
The main crop.
Hello? That's why when he would come, what did Melchizedek bring him?
Bread.
And what? Bread and what? And wine.
Wine.
But bread. That's where the saying come from that we know. Come, let us what?
Break bread.
Break bread. We might have ribs, turkey, huh? Greens. But the saying when we invite somebody, come, when we invite somebody to fellowship, come, let us break bread. Africa, Middle East, bread. You go out to eat at a restaurant. First thing they get you.
Bread and water.
Bread and water. Yes, sir.
And that's why I said in Ecclesiastics, man does not live by bread alone.
Hello.
Meaning bread is the main course. You know, you don't live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh does man live. Like I said, but the first thing, bread. But
bread.
You can't live on just bread.
No, sir.
You know, you have to have that word.
Because bread only going to take care of your physical needs.
So true.
The word of Yah going to take care of what's most important. That is your spiritual need. And that's why he's saying that. You can't just live, like he said, you can't just live by bread alone. Because that only supply your physical craving. But you need something to fill up your spiritual craving. And that's the word of Yah.
Hallelujah.
But Abram said unto the Almighty Yah, he said, what?
I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on. For therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, so do as thou hast said.
And he was speaking to all of them. He was reverencing the Almighty, and he was reverencing his angelic host that's with him. Because all men in Scripture, when they even came amongst the angels, they said, I'll be your servant. Because they higher than us. But this is the Creator. This ain't three angels. Because that's what some going to try to get around and teach. This three angels. This ain't three angels. This is Yahweh and two of his angelic sons. Keep going.
Verse 6. And Abram hasted into the tent unto Sarah, and said, make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abram ran unto the herd, and fetched the calf, tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hastened to dress it.
See, this ain't time for them to be walking around all cool like. Slowly walking around. Like he got all day.
King is here.
The king is here.
That's right.
He moving.
That's right.
He running. Huh? And we ain't never seen Abram run. He don't run for nobody. We be running for him. He got certain they run for him. Say, well, man, what are you running through the camp? What are you running through here like that for? Because this ain't no time to be. He ain't being waited. He trying to satisfy the Most High. So he moving. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And he took butter.
He took butter, which today is classified as what? Dairy.
Dairy.
He took what else?
Milk.
Which is classified today as what?
Dairy.
And he took what?
The calf which he had dressed. And set it before them.
He set it all before him at the same time, right?
Yes. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat.
And they did eat the butter. Y'all be with y'all correct me now. I'm saying something. They did eat the butter.
Yes.
They did drink the milk.
Yes, they did.
And they did eat the calf meat, right?
Yes, they did.
At the same time, right?
At the same time.
Well, why a Jewish man talking about you can't have dairy and meat at the same time, and you gotta have different refrigerators so you can put them both in different refrigerators, and you can't have no cheeseburger.
That's their own creation. That's their own doing.
When they come up with this, because you can't have dairy and meat at the same time.
They perverse the laws of Yah.
Where they come up with that from? When Yah himself, right here, is partaking in a meal involving what we call dairy products and meat products, and it gotta be good because he eating it.
That's right.
Because he ain't gonna eat no garbage.
Hallelujah.
So they did that thing right. I know they did that thing right. Because if they didn't, he would have sent it back to the cook.
Hallelujah.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. And they said unto him,
Mm-hmm.
Where is Sarah, thy wife?
And that's a good meal. See? So when you go and have a good, when you take somebody out, have a good meal. Break the ice. Huh? Let the word be few. Let them enjoy themselves. We sitting there asking them no deep questions. Take somebody out, then you ask them deep questions while they trying to eat. They can't even eat. What's the square root of 50? Man, I'm trying to enjoy this. First thing you lose your appetite, you just throw your hand. They want to talk to you while you eat. Now let me eat. Then we can move on. After you eat a good meal, now he said, what?
And he said unto him, Where is Sarah, thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abram and Sarah were old, well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my master being old also?
Let me tell you something. They call these the facts of life. Y'all heard that phrase, right?
Yes, sir.
The facts of life. What is the facts of life? That's why our relationships better be built on something more than what we building them on today. Because as you get to your years on the back end, them years, the things that excited you greatly on the front end, don't excite you. It ain't like they non-existent, but they don't excite you like they did. A good nap is preferred. All you want to do is just look over there and say, you there, baby? Yes. And you nod out. Give them some milk and let them know they come, and you nod out. Because as she said, after we are old, we don't even, when we were young, that's what we don't even think about all that no more. That's too much energy. I'm 90, this man 90, almost 100, I'm 90. No, that's too much of a strain. He said, but should we have pleasure? And not only the pleasure of that, should we have pleasure of once we do this, what it will bring forth? See? Because there's more to the facts of life than just the physical. It should bring, it's an expression of your union, the way you feel about one another. Beasts know how to But that's why you don't see them cuddle. You see beasts do, and then one of them start growling at the other and nipping at the other, slapping the other, and that means get away from me. You do, huh?
And it depends on what kind of beast you're talking about too.
But
Yes, sir.
that's the thing that separates
Us from them.
us from them.
Yes, sir.
Ain't even really a lot of nothing before that. It's just, and then, but there's a difference. That's what it's called, pleasure. And then what does that produce? I ain't teaching nothing that's crazy, so stop looking at me like that. Because that's what the Almighty said in the book of Malachi.
That's right.
He's saying it here in the beginning in Genesis, and that's what he's saying in the book of Malachi. Why do I bring two together? That they might produce a Elohim with seed. That's why he tell the man, so take heed to your spirit when you involve yourself with this person or with that person. And that's why in Proverbs, the woman is going to tell her son, my son is not for kings to give himself, to give his strength to many women.
That's right.
That's not what you put here to do. Just sow your wild oats. That's a heathenistic concept. Go sow your wild oats. You put here to give your strength to a special woman. A special woman.
Hallelujah.
All this stuff about I'm sitting here to spread myself out. That's nonsense.
That's right.
Unless the Almighty ordained it. As he did for Jacob. Because he didn't with Isaac. That's why Isaac had one wife.
One.
Wasn't his mission with Abraham. Because he didn't. That was Sarah. He had one wife. Now Jacob, it really wasn't his idea. It was brought into fruition. But he sought only one woman that he loved and worked for 7 years. And it said he worked for them 7, and them years didn't seem like nothing.
14 years, actually.
14,
Yes, sir.
when you get to the nitty gritty of it.
Hallelujah.
Because he was on a higher level. This is what men start to know. And this is where boys have to grow. This is what she means by pleasure. The whole gamut. Should we have it? Being old and well stricken in age. Verse 13.
And Yahweh said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of certainty bear a child which am old? Is anything too hard for Yahweh?
Am I really going to have a child? You see? The way I teach this. Because when you do these things, if there's no barriers, what does the facts of life produce? That's what it produces.
Yes, sir.
See that we have to teach this, and it should be taught, and this in the course of Sabbath. This is education.
Yes, sir.
A lot of children think, because they hear many things. Well, somebody said if it was like this, then she won't get pregnant. If it was like that, she won't get pregnant. No. This is what that leads to.
Right.
That's why she said, will I surely bear a child and while I'm old? Then the Creator says, is there anything too hard for Yah? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee. And what's the time appointed? About a year. Because he already done told her this time. He already done told Abram this time, next year, I'll be back here.
That's right.
And you'll have something.
That's right.
So he said at the time appointed, is there anything too hard for Yah? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, because it's going to take about a year. And Sarah will have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I didn't laugh, for she was afraid, because he heard her. She thought when she laughed under her breath and couldn't nobody hear. But y'all mind, I heard you back here behind me laughing. And he said, no, it's all right, daughter. You did laugh. Showing that the Almighty is compassionate too, huh? I know it's hard to believe. I know it's hard for you to believe that. Huh?
Yeah.
I know it is.
Yeah.
They already got you in the peg in the nursing home and everything, and you gonna be walking around here with you like a young girl. Like you 20 years old. I know that's far-fetched. But it is.
Very true. And this women today, that's that age that look it and walk it that way.
And the men rose up from thence, and they looked toward Sodom. Abraham went with them to bring them on their way. And Yah said, shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I have known him in order that he will command his children and his household after him, that they should keep the way of Yah, to do justice. He commanded them to keep the way of Yah to do what's just and judgment. Now what does that mean? Because here he really didn't say that he should command them to keep the law. He said that he should command them to be what? Just and do judgment. But I know that he's talking about the law because you're going to be judged by the law.
Yes, sir.
That's why I know when he say judgment, he's talking about them keeping the law. Because for everything that we do, good or bad, that's what we judged on. And we judge on all them things, they are in accordance with Yahweh's law. Because if there is no law, then there is no judgment. And they shall keep the way of Yahweh to do justice and judgment, in order that Yah may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of to him. Because although he spoke it, if one of them sons, and he promised it, if one of them sons step out of line, guess what they put in jeopardy? They put the fulfillment of their promise in jeopardy. That's why he did not let them step out of line. And that's why the Almighty is able to make the statement, I am the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Hallelujah. 3 generations.
Because not one foot strayed from the path, in order that all which I have spoken to Abraham might be fulfilled. Yah said, because the cry of Sodom and what?
Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me. And if not, I will know.
Now who's crying? What does he mean crying? Who's crying? Yes. That's one that's crying. That's one entity that's crying. Who else is crying?
Heavens.
Yes, the heavens. Who else is crying? Y'all didn't know we was taking a quiz today, did you? The righteous. Because although the city was wicked, there's some righteous people in there. They're crying. And Elder, who else did you say was crying? You said somebody else was crying.
Yeah.
But he moved to tears with how great a fall man has taken, and their wickedness.
What did the other say?
He said the Almighty himself. He's hearing the cry, the plea, the cry come up to him. And it's grieving him because of their sin. Nothing new under the sun. You don't think he's hearing it today? Because the sin is very great.
Very great. It's just like
The righteous praying that he do.
Huh?
The righteous is praying that he hears.
Is the righteous praying that he hearing
Yes,
it?
sir.
Hmm?
That should be a
Because
thing.
that's why somebody gonna say, well, how you know it's righteous people in the city? Well, I know because book gonna tell me that there is. And as you said, the righteous is praying because of all the wickedness in the land. But y'all might say that sin is very grievous. So he said what?
I will go down now
Uh-huh.
and see whether they be done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me. And if not, I will know.
We're going to go down. We're going to investigate this. We're going to see if this is really bad, as the reports say it is. It's coming to my ears. Or is it exaggeration? Let's go down. Let's see.
And the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom. And Abraham stood yet before Yahweh.
Again, like I said, not out of ignorance. This is what you call making a good case. You investigate so that you can make a good case when you present your case. It's like grabbing a person and say he's guilty of something. Well, you still do what? You go and get all the evidence that you can get.
Yes, sir.
Huh? So you leave no one stone unturned.
Leave no wiggle room.
Yeah, you go grab everything you can get. Even though you know he's guilty. I mean, he can be flat out guilty. You grab everything. This is what the Almighty is doing when he said, let's go see. Let's get all the evidence. We ain't talking about ignorant. We just gathering all the evidence. I see this. I see that. I see that. We see, yeah. Okay. And the men turned their faces from thence and went toward Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before who?
Yahweh.
So don't that put the bed? Remember what I said earlier? About 3 angels?
That's right.
2 men went further down into Sodom. 1 man stayed back with Abraham. That 1 man that stayed back with Abraham is who? Yah.
Hallelujah.
Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou, go ahead.
Wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked that be far from thee.
I don't know you judging like that. Where you take righteous and wicked people and slay them all in the same boat. I don't know you like that. And I definitely don't know you that you'll slay the righteous for the wicked. That's far from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And y'all's response to him was?
If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the places for their sakes. And Abraham answered and said, Behold, I have taken upon me to speak unto Yahweh, which am but dust and ashes.
And yes, that's where I was going. Abram looked at himself and said, I am but what?
Dust and ash.
Dust and what?
Ashes.
Ashes. Huh? So somebody once said, well, can you say, should you say it, you know, from dust to dust, ashes to ashes? And I said, well, yeah, you can say that. It says it in the book. Dust to dust. He said, I'm dust and I'm ash. I'm this frail being, this frail vessel. But I'm taking it upon myself to ask you one more question. Go ahead.
Peradventure, there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, If I find there 45, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again, and said, Peradventure, there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for the 40's sake. And he said unto him, Oh, let not Yahweh be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure, there shall 30 be found there.
We're going to work our way down to 30.
And he said, I will not do it, if I find 30 there. And he said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto Yahweh. Peradventure, there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, Oh, let not Yahweh be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure, 10 shall be found there. He said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And Yahweh went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham. And Abraham returned unto his place. Hallelujah.
See, we got you, brother Aaron. Where are these righteous people in that you said is in the city? Because he said if it was 10 of them, then he wasn't going to destroy it. So where are these righteous people that was crying in the city?
They still in the city.
They there. I didn't say how many. I just said it was something there. And the ones that was there, I ain't say it was very many, but they there. And his name is Lot.
And his household.
And his household. Namely Lot.
Namely.
And how I know, namely Lot, and how I know he was righteous, let's see what happened when the angels come down to visit.
Hallelujah. Genesis chapter 19, verse 1. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground.
Did anybody see something?
He did the same thing Abraham did.
All
when he
right,
saw
there you go. There you go.
Hallelujah.
It wasn't no, Abraham wasn't no, this is the ways. These are the ways that one is raised in. For you see, he did the same thing. When he recognized these 2 men, he did the same thing. Rose up to meet them. Bowed himself with his face toward the earth. Verse 2.
And he said, Behold now, my masters, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet.
Let me wash your feet, just like he did in Genesis 18. Go ahead.
And ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And then they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night.
They said, no, we ain't sent to come into your house. We got to stay out here on these streets. We got to see what's going on in these streets
In these streets.
all night long. we can't do this at daytime because the
Quiet in the daytime.
in the daytime they act a little differently.
Freaks
Yeah.
come out at night.
The freaks come out at night,
At night.
baby. Yeah. When it's nighttime, now they ready to cut loose.
In the
Huh?
dark. They
And
get
yeah,
ready.
yeah.
Can't
Huh?
nobody see me. I'm turned
Huh?
up.
Some folks right now, they resting up. They ain't resting up because it's Sabbath day. They resting up because they ready to, what they say, turn up.
Light is going
They
down.
gonna turn up, boy, as soon as night hit.
That's right.
10 o'clock, they gonna, boy, take a ride down there on 6th Street, them bars.
10 o'clock. Yes,
Boy,
sir.
you gonna see some, huh? You ride down there, and you see some stuff that you shouldn't have seen it for in your life, and you shouldn't want to see again. But it get wild, Jack.
Real wild.
But that's what they said. They said we got to be out here in these streets to get a good report.
And he pressed upon them greatly. And they turned in unto him and entered into his house. And he made them a feast and did bake unleavened bread.
Hello?
And they did eat
There go that what?
bread.
There go that bread again.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Huh? Just like Father Abraham. Now he told them, no, I know y'all handle yourself, but y'all got to come in here. It's wild out here.
Yeah, these at the street.
Yeah, the ghetto get red hot at night. You got to come in here. And when he came in, he made them a feast. And the main item on that feast was,
Unleavened bread.
and they did what?
Eat. But before they lay down,
And he was getting ready to turn them in for the night. But before he could turn them in,
the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter.
and this have been read before, but this is a chapter that can't be minimized. And people need to really read this chapter as much as they can. Because I want you to read that again.
It said, but before they lay down, the men of the city,
All the men of the city that came out.
even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter.
Now, why you read that all over again?
Those men was greatly weak. They were old
Because
and young.
this gives you a barometer of the one thing that was happening in the city. But this one thing that is highlighted and picked out is such an egregious thing that it's highlighted and made the focal point of their wicked behavior. And apparently it had broke out, and it was something that was just in great numbers. The way that men were in Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, men were that way. If men were that way,
The women were that way too.
loving men,
The women-
can we talk, y'all?
Yes, sir.
If
Go
men were
ahead.
that way loving men, and women don't have too many men to love, who the women
Hello?
gonna love?
Hello? They gonna love other women.
Huh? They gonna love what?
Other women? Are they going to both?
Other women that play the role of
Okay.
a man. It-
Sound like the LBGQ community to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
hush
what
your
it
mouth.
sound like.
That's what it sound.
You better not say that out loud.
So true, so true.
They condemning us right now.
You better not say that out
That's what it sound like.
loud. Because, as it says, see, I want to teach this. As I said in the Latin, there's nothing new under the sun. When you're reading these accounts, these testimonies, that's why he said to the law and to the testimonies. When you're reading these testimonies, if you want to know where we at today, you only need to glimpse back to the word of Yah. That's what's different about his book. That's why he said in Isaiah, I'm telling you things that's future tense. I've already told you about them. Not that he said, this is what it's going to look like in 2024. But he told me about it because what I'm reading in the past and the characteristics. Venue has changed. Like if you go to do a concert, venue might change. But there's certain things that no matter what city you in, the venue change. But there's certain things that's just the same thing.
Yes, sir.
And you apply the same concepts to no matter what city you in. Because some things just don't change. Well, the venue may have changed. But you're looking at the characteristics. And you can see the swelling in the city of this kind of mindset. It is swole to where it says men, young, old, big, small, short, tall. I say that because it's a swelling. As my elder said, it's a swelling in the land. Now there's markers. Many people, they don't know it, but now there's markers when you go in cities.
Yes.
There's markers where they wave flags
Let you know.
to let you know
Over here.
when you come in the city. Hey,
We
it's celebrated now.
Over here.
We welcome you.
We welcome you.
Come on down.
Come on down. Come on in.
Come on.
Big time shakers are able to come out now. People that determine the way other people's lives go. Council people, judges, industry leaders of all kind of, I ain't even picking out one industry leaders. I am this way now. Big time stars and people that people look up to. That's why y'all might say it in the book of Malachi, yea, them that set up wickedness, or them that work wickedness, we even set them up. Athletes. I had to come out. You've been bumping into them for years. Bumping into them. Close quarters with them. They finally come out. They might even grabbing on you. And then they finally come out and say, yes. Now the man, you like,
What?
well, was he playing the game or was he playing the game?
Right. What was he doing?
It's a swelling. And I say that because here, this is highlighted, as I said, and this is what is pointed out, and it's about to bring the what of the city?
The destruction.
The destruction. In Roman history and Greek history, it was a swelling of the same thing
They accepted it.
that brought down the empire. In other words, what I'm saying is a hint to the wise.
Should be sufficient.
Should be sufficient.
Yes, sir.
As you let this break out. Because what it's showing is, this is showing what they call a degradation of society. But once you out of this natural course, what else? What else can't be broken down?
Everything.
Like they say, when they accept this,
You accept
you have the argument for, well, I love my beast.
I love my cat.
I love this. I love that. And you have the lines blurred. You set a precedent where lines are blurred. And everything is out of course, everything is out of whack. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him. And he said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly.
See, that's why I know he was righteous. Because the response to them was, don't come here. Why y'all coming here with that foolishness?
Y'all come to my door.
With this wickedness? If you're going to do that, go on back down to your bars and your establishments and your places that you had, because y'all got plenty of them. And you ain't even got a hide now. Why you at my house? Where righteous people live, where righteous people do it, where people with a mind that's holy to Yah, where they live.
We seen them 2 men
Pushing this on me and my house.
We seen them 2 men, they looked handsome to us. We want them to come out.
He said, I pray, brother.
I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold now, I have 2 daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing. For therefore came they under the shadow of my roof.
And isn't it something that with all the coming out of the alternative lifestyle in homosexuality, you also have now all this breaking out of men who have been taking advantage of women.
Yeah.
So the Almighty is letting this whole swelling come out. Now the justice ain't the same, but it's all coming out. It's all coming out. Y'all know the turmoil the little guy they got. Now he's not gonna face the same thing that Mr. Cosby faced.
Yeah.
But then he understood the game a little better than Mr. Cosby though. And what got Mr. Cosby hemmed up is he said years ago, I did do that with this particular woman, and this is the particular woman that they got it with, because they didn't get it with none of y'all, because that's the one he admitted to. This cat said, look, I don't know that lady. I don't know a thing that lady talking about. I ain't never touched that lady before, and he going down like that.
And everybody
He's not going to admit to nothing.
And everybody she know.
But he was a teenager.
Right.
He did what teenagers do. And I was a teenager. And you at them parties where ain't no supervision. You know, they got the cutting up.
Everybody drunk and drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So memory gets blurred.
And then they grow up doing it. But that's why all this is swelling. Everything that's coming out is swelling. This is what the Almighty mean by the cry. This is the cry. It's the cry of all these things in society. Crying. And I'm speaking of this, some might not know why. Because, and this is what I was saying earlier, some are getting lost
Yes.
in this society.
Yes, sir.
That's why I said about Satan, doubt. Doubt. That's why I talked last week. Whether you want to say the four have passed or not, you're still in captivity.
That's right.
Ain't nothing even be arguing, because it's evident. What is evident is we still in captivity.
Yes, sir. We ain't left.
That's the mark that's on us. And captivity is doing what the Almighty said it would do for many of his people. He said, while they pine away, and some of them are being swallowed up.
Yes, sir.
Because this has been a long one.
Hard.
This has been a long one. To where doubt have been able to creep in. I don't even think that's real no more. And as I said, where there's doubt, then there comes what? Disbelief. Where there's disbelief, there becomes straight out rebellion. That's why the Almighty said they will make war with the saints and will prevail till the thrones are cast down and the Ancient of Days.
Raphael.
And the Ancient of Days will sit and judgment be taken away and given to the saints of the Most High. But many of people are being broken, being snared, being taken, being crushed as the swelling is going up, as the cries are going up. But it's evident and good to read this because it is a hard thing to resist. It is a hard fight to fight. But at the end of the fight, you're going to see the reward. And that's what will help you stay where you need to stay. Let's go, brother. Pick up.
Genesis chapter 19, verse 9. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now, will we deal worse with thee than with them? And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door.
Huh? So, characteristics. He tried to speak out against it, didn't he? Huh?
He'll make you an example.
He tried to speak out against wickedness, didn't he?
Yeah.
He tried to speak out against what was unrighteous in his time, didn't he?
Yes.
Huh? And what did he catch?
A whole bunch
He
of
got to
mess.
get it.
He about to get it, ain't he?
Yes, he
And they say we gonna do even worse to you than what we was gonna do with them.
Yes, sir.
Wicked.
Yeah.
But you speak out today,
And you gonna get crucified.
and you gonna get it.
Yes, sir.
Nowadays, there's some words you better not say.
You just can't say, huh?
Say on the job.
Not if y'all ain't on your side.
Uh-huh.
Not if y'all ain't with you.
Hallelujah.
Don't go and start sprouting out. You'll be destitute. Unless you're ready to put it all on the line. then you better have the Almighty with you. You better have His favor. You better have His backing. Because only He can fight that battle. As Scripture say, save me from them that are too strong
That's right.
for me.
Hallelujah.
And that's what a meek and humble person knows. Because they'll put you in the ringer, Jack. They said some men just done said a few words. Wasn't real egregious, wasn't real devastating. Just a few words, and they were actors, top actors. And now they can't even make a commercial.
No word.
Like I said, you know it's bad when they take pieces of cloth and make them homosexuals. For them that didn't hear last week. They took pieces of cloth, which is all Muppets was, hand puppets.
Yes. And they, oh my God.
Hand puppets. And because they were roommates, they said now, in 2018, they were homosexuals. I said, my gracious.
Man.
That's
It's a whole
that's
story
just-
behind them, all right?
that's just
It's a
that's
whole story behind
I don't even need to know the rest of it. All I need to know is that's just wickedness.
It's straight wicked.
All my life of watching that never crossed my mind.
Not one time. Just thought they were best of friends.
Not to say about the two old guys sitting in the balcony.
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Lifetime, huh? They old. What they call it? They old skeezers.
But just what it said, all right?
Oh my
It's
gracious.
all, they all coming out now.
Oh my gracious.
They all been behind the scenes all these years. Now
Oh.
they coming out.
Oh mercy. Let's go, brother.
Verse 10. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they were wearied themselves to find the door.
So you can't get caught up in the trappings, because a lot of people are getting caught up in the trappings. And as I say, the longer we stay here, a lot of people are getting caught up in the trappings.
Yes.
I see this. I see that.
A young man got
This is why the Almighty said, don't seek their prosperity. He didn't say He's against prosperity. He said, don't seek their prosperity.
Hallelujah.
I mean, in the manner and the ways in which you see everybody around you go after prosperity. You don't seek to get prosperity like that.
Hallelujah.
Because they doing some real bad things in my sight. Just to gain a little notoriety or a few dollars. But in the end, when all that don't mean nothing, what they gonna have? As Satan said, everything a man have, let me ill-stricken him.
He'll curse you.
He'll curse you. You ask people. I saw where a football player, his family just settled the lawsuit. But you ask them, because he killed himself. Because he had that degenerative brain disease from years of starting out in Pop Warner to junior high, to high school, to college, to the pros, with a long-term career in the pros. And when he retired from the game, he couldn't even be around his children. Couldn't even be, and had divorced from his wife. Finally, one day, he went off and nobody heard anything from him. Till they found him where he then took a gun and had to end it all by blasting his brains out. Because he was ill-stricken. Now all that he done amassed, houses, cars, money. If you could talk to him today, ask him how much it meant. If you could ask his family, who though they have a settlement, they don't have him, ask them how much it means. See, things can look, all that glitters is not gold. And learn from Scripture, learn from Satan. He said, all a man have if you stricken him. He ain't saying that for nothing. They would come to people with, old people. I can heal you of this if you sign this. Oh, it's just a little formality. And they sign it, and everything that they amassed is gone. But they, for hope. Huh? For hope. They what? For the hope of life. That's what he was saying, for the hope of life. Man, they will do this. That's why y'all might say, hope in me. Put your trust in me. Give yourself to me. But some things that you chasing after ain't as important as you think they are. But your spirit is very important. And you shouldn't want to trade that and your salvation. And you shouldn't want to trade that for nothing in the world. That's why Job said, from dust I am. He said it. Just as Abraham. From dust I am, dust shall I return. Naked came I in, naked will I leave. But I'll leave knowing, I'll leave with one thing though. I'll leave with one thing. I won't leave with bags of money and gold. But I know I'll leave with one thing. And that is integrity and righteousness in the sight of my Creator.
Hallelujah.
Go ahead, they pulled him in and they blinded him with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door.
And the men said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of Yahweh, and Yahweh has sent us to destroy it.
See, it's things when you following the Almighty, and you know that everybody else don't know.
Hallelujah.
And that's why Scripture say with much wisdom, with much grief.
Yes, sir.
But you know what other people don't know.
Hallelujah.
And that which you know can be your saving grace in times to come. Even though you grieve it now, it can be your saving grace. Your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding. The Almighty said, in the days to come, that will be your stability.
Hallelujah.
When all this falls down, when the house falls down, it all falls in. What you know that you grieve with.
That be your wisdom.
will be your saving grace.
In the sight of these nations. Yes, sir.
Like you said, men that have all these fancy cars and things, they'll pull up to you. If I can highlight Egypt. After the Almighty does it, the Almighty said the children of Israel demanded of the Egyptians. Didn't say borrowed, that's a bad word put there. They demanded and they got it because the people said, we all dead. We dead. You want gold? Take it. You want silver? Take it. You want cash? Take it. Is that important? Take all this. We all dead. Now can you get me out the dead pool? I'll give you all of this if you can rescue me. But right now, and I know it don't seem like it, but that day is coming.
Yes, sir.
Where people will give what they have, they will come and rescue you. For the promise, for the hope of delivering them. For destruction is inevitable. And I ride around, I see great things. I see them building the cities up greater and greater, and I say to myself, who can topple this? They expanding in cities and building places. Hadn't been over in Avondale area by the hospital in 2 years. And just went over there recently and it was totally different from where I left. I said, man, they keep on messing around and this gonna be a little hospital city.
Yeah.
Because all the homes over there, interns and doctors, and they just build up around it, the hospital, and it's growing, and they snatching up land, and it's growing. I said, this ain't even gonna be a residential place, it's gonna be a little city.
All hospitals.
And the college is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I sometimes wonder, I said, who can topple this? But then I go to the book. And that's why the Almighty said, how have the golden city, how have it ceased? No, you can't. You don't have enough marches and sit-ins and protests to do nothing. But when I pass judgment, and judgment is coming, it's going to be the wasteland, a place, a desert for the owls and the wild beasts to inhabit it. Just as this ancient place was. Well, look what they said, for we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of Yah. And Yah has sent us to destroy it. How much wickedness do you think a place can hold?
And no telling.
And there's all types of things going on. 7-year-old boy threw his 4-year-old brother 7 stories down.
Oh, God, mercy.
Yeah, these are little things that's getting by us. Yes. And I'm putting them out there while we being entrapped in the world that I need to get. There ain't nothing wrong with thinking that. But while we being entrapped in the world and going out, I need to get a 5-bedroom home. Mercedes Benz. These things that's going by us, that's crying out to Yah every day that we're not paying no attention to, which is leading to further destruction. are happening. So mind need to be reset. We need to refocus. We need to come to what is really important.
Yes, sir.
I guess that's why he said, meditate in this law day and night.
And night. Hallelujah.
Stop watching so many games. Stop
right.
watching. I ain't saying all of them, but stop watching so many of them.
There's something else on
Stop
the
watching so many movies. Stop going to so many parties. And get your mind right.
Hallelujah.
So you don't be in that number when destruction cometh.
That's right. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh.
That you might escape. See, we be talking, but we don't be saying nothing.
Go ahead, Moray.
Because we don't even understand how to go about doing it.
All right.
I want to escape, but I'm in I'm in the house with them. Well, the best way to escape, if you know the house going to fall in, the best way to escape is not go in the house at all.
Hallelujah.
It's a big party. Man, it's going to be some Crips. Going to be some Bloods. Some gangster disciples. But it's a party. Just come on in and have fun. Now, if you're a wild man, what is that telling you? They just told me some Crips, some Bloods, some gangster disciples that don't get along, that don't get along
At all.
alcohol, things impede person's thinking, all that's there. This is a recipe for disaster.
Yes, sir.
And you want me to come in? I might poke in if somebody I know. Hi, but I got to keep moving. If you see, this is a recipe for disaster. And it is. Not only the LGBT and all that, and understand me, I'm not saying, because ain't no woman supposed to be taken advantage of. We got laws that condemn that.
That's right.
But I'm going to say this. That is a dangerous movement.
Very.
This Me Too movement is very dangerous.
It's tampering with the kids. Innocent.
Because it can be used by minds. Especially when there's no burden of proof. Just I have to make accusations. A good, kind man could be caught up.
Yes, sir.
An innocent man could be caught up
Yes, sir.
when you do it in the manner in which they are doing it. But now you have men scared of even trying to approach a woman. Did you speak to it? Yeah, I said I spoke to her. Well, she said you were getting fresh with it.
I thought it was the one.
So things are just building up, swelling up in society as a whole. I told y'all, they surveyed 50%, they did a national survey, and it came back where over 50% of the people said that this country is headed for another civil war. There's a degradation of society.
God have mercy.
That's why the Creator said to Lot, and it ain't gonna be many. It's not gonna be many. I told a brother down in Atlanta, I said, look, your mind is doing something great. You have to, and we have to line up with him. And I'm just gonna tell you the truth. You have to be a realist. You have to prepare yourself to look and say, I may be the only one saved out of this calamity. Make it. My daughters may not make it. You said, Brother Abraham, why are you talking like that today? Read this again, brother. What the angel's telling you. Verse 14.
And Lot, no, verse 13.
You can start at 13, yeah.
For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of Yahweh, and Yahweh has sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law.
He spoke to who?
His son-in-law.
That man, his daughters, he had daughters that got what?
Married.
They got married. So he had son-in-laws that he was concerned about. So he went out to find them and he spoke to them.
And said, up, get you out of this place.
Come on, y'all.
For Yahweh will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his son-in-law.
In other words, he had family. They son-in-law, but son-in-laws in scripture, son-in-laws are meant to be looked at as sons.
So he went to his son.
Young man come and marry my daughter and he conduct himself, you start to look at him as, hey, this is my son. Even though he's not your son, you take him out and say, this is my son. Because he's family now. That's my daughter. Because she's family now. I can back it up with scripture.
Yes, sir. And it's the truth.
But let you know these was his son-in-laws. It said that to let you know they were married. The daughter was married. He had daughters that were married. And when he went to grab his son-in-laws and tell them the message, give them a warning, come on, let's leave, let's get up out of here. What did they do to him?
They mocked him.
They mocked him.
I mean, he's joking, man.
Family.
Ooh.
Family. Family. You gonna talk and family gonna mock you.
Yes, sir. They gonna mock you.
I confess. See, I used to struggle with it. I said, man, I know every word here is good, but I don't know. This might just be, let me find another way around it. But when he said, and I will take you one from a family, two of a city, the more I live, the more it starts to set in. And the more I start to say to myself, gracious, alive. No wonder he says, a remnant.
Small.
But we running around thinking, everybody we touch, they coming. And the Almighty telling us, that's not so. You might leave behind many. That's why people will try to condemn a Noah. And I say, how can you condemn a man that went through what he went through? All them that he knew that were left behind, that met with destruction. You better be Skippy. He got off the boat and he got drunk, trying to forget that nightmare.
And all them people banging on the ship trying to get in.
And as I live today, it's becoming evident. Because everybody ain't going down the same track at the same speed.
That's right.
For he went to his family. And he seemed as one that mocked unto them. But when the morning arose, the angels hasted Lot, saying, arise, take your wife and your two daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the punishment of the city. And while he lingered, while he was a little lackadaisical, Because he didn't even have the sense of urgency he needed to have right now. Because he lingered.
He was slow moving.
The men grabbed him, his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters. And they did so, Yahweh being merciful unto him. See, sometimes things happening in our life, and it's out of Yahweh's mercy.
Hallelujah.
You refuse some things because it's out of Yahweh's mercy. Because you might be putting yourself in harm's way. Or it's to prepare you for what's to come. And if left up to us to do it on our own, we'll linger.
It won't get done.
We'll procrastinate.
And it won't get done.
And you'll be caught up. So the Almighty says, I got to give you a boost, a push. But they grabbed him and took him, Yahweh being merciful unto him, and brought him forth and set him outside the city. And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for your life. So not only did they helped him get out, they pulled him out, but then they told him after they pulled him out, they said what? Now you escape for what?
Your life.
You take your life into your own hands.
Right, we got you out of the most treacherous way of it.
We gave you a start. Now run. Escape for your life. Look not behind you. Do not stay in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. Lot said unto them, please don't, my master. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and you have magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shown unto me in saving my life. But I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me, and I die. Behold now, this city is near unto thee. It's a little one, but oh, let me escape there, and my soul will live. And we always want to bargain with the Almighty.
Yeah.
He said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city, for the which thou hast spoken. Now, why wouldn't he overthrow that city?
Because the righteous man was going into it.
Hello, now we're getting it. Hurry, escape there, for I cannot do anything. Look at how much the righteous availeth. We better pray and hope there's some righteous people in the earth today.
Hallelujah.
Everybody talking, ain't nobody righteous. We better hope and pray. If you can't think that about yourself, you better hope and think that about somebody. Because look at what he's about to say. For I cannot do anything till you are come thither. In other words, till you come there. I can't do nothing because I have sworn that I won't touch the place.
Until you say.
If there's righteous there. A righteous man is never to be given over for the life, his life for the wicked. He saved them, but he saved them by his presence there.
There goes the New Testament.
There goes the New Testament.
New Testament, yes, sir.
I've seen some movies, but I've heard also personal accounts where people say, man, they've been sent to take people's lives. One movie I remember I saw, God was sent to take a guy's life. He was an assassin. And he got there, And he was supposed to kill the guy. This guy had done some stuff. But the man, little baby ran out.
Yeah.
Man, little baby ran out of the room and ran and jumped and got right in the line of his father and the gunman. And the gunman said, I can't do this. He said, I can't do this. But he told him, he said, not for you. He said, your boy right there. He said, but if ever I catch you, if ever I catch you, I'm telling you now, once I leave here, you better get out of this town. If ever I catch you, and you won't always have him with you, I'm going to carry out what I came here for. But I can't do that right now.
Mercy.
And that's what that Almighty Feast said. I can't do that. It's righteous. He said, I can't do nothing till you come thither. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered in Zoar. And as he entered in Zoar, Yahweh rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone, fire from Yah out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew up upon the ground. But his wife, she looked back. And the instructions was,
don't look back.
don't look back.
What you looking back for?
When you escaping, you don't have time. Look back. You gotta look ahead.
Oh, God.
When you escaping, it kind of reminds me of what our dear elder said. They said you freed 1,000 slaves. She said, I would have freed so many more if only they knew they were slaves. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Hallelujah.
Because even some of them that got the running with it, they probably look back. Oh, this too hard right here. And they got to look back. And they what? Slow down. And you slow down, that gave the enemy a chance to what? Catch up. And when they caught up, they put you right back in what? If you were blessed.
Right. But they more likely.
Or they more than likely hung you.
Yes, sir.
Right there where they caught you at for running.
Won't you be a message to anybody else coming in?
So once they got the running, it wasn't time. Huh? I ain't never seen a track man look back and be successful running track. His eyes is always ahead. But she looked back. And when she looked back, she became a pillar of salt. Abraham got up early in the morning while this was happening. That was the same day. He got up early in the morning. Because now, check it. You see, there's fire and brimstone coming out of heaven. Down raining down on cities. I mean, the clouds, the skies, and a different presentation and everything. So he's getting up, and he's not too far from the city himself, and he's looking at this. He got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Almighty Yah. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, nothing was going on but smoke. The smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. It came to pass when Elohim destroyed the cities of the plain, that Elohim remembered Abraham. And he sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities, the which Lot dwelt. And Lot went out of Zoar, dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar. So eventually he did what?
Left Zoar.
No, eventually he did what? Who said it? Eventually he settled in the what, young man? He went to the mountain,
Where he was originally.
like y'all told him in the first place, right?
Yes, sir.
He eventually did what the Almighty instructed him to do in the first place. That's what that fear do. See, that's how the Almighty is. He's not all hardcore. He said, well, I heard it. I heard your suggestion. And you think your suggestion and your way is a good way? You go ahead and do that. That's why everything ain't always hardcore. If you think your way is a good way, then you go ahead and do that. But I'm telling you now, every action have a reaction. There's repercussions for all things. Now you won't test it, you go ahead and test it. But eventually, when the heat got going, that city was too close. He said, "Lay, come on, girls. We got beef feet. Get up in the mountain." I'm sure it dawned on him when he got to the mountain. This is where y'all told me to go in the first place. Why would he tell me to go somewhere where I thought, where he would have me to perish if he's saving me from perishing? See, he thought wild beasts would get him in the mountain. But why would Yahweh delivering the wild beast when if he want to kill him, he just let him stay right down there in the city where he at?
Right.
So they left and went to the mountain. And the firstborn said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there's not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth." See, this is a deep chapter.
Yeah.
So what's the manner of all the earth?
Man and woman.
Huh? Because the daughter said, look, I mean, let's think about it. It's 2 of them. They say, hey, 2 of us, we can get along. They said, no. Although our daddy old, the manner of all the earth is still.
Man and woman.
Hello. Still.
Male and female. That's the beast.
Since creation. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. Because it also goes back to creation, the manner of all the earth, the nature was natural. Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. That is original nature.
Hallelujah.
And that is only done with man and woman. So they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Yes?
Unconscious.
And that's why you don't get lit up and go out and party today.
That's right.
Because you don't know what happened later that night.
You don't even remember.
I work with girls, going to see, come in, had a big frat party. I said, yeah. She said, yeah. She said, and I remember we was drinking. She said, And then I don't remember nothing after that. I said, oh, you don't? I said, so you don't remember all them fellas that was at the party then? And she stopped talking, and all them smiles went to instant concern. I said, you don't know what happened. Who it happened with. Because that's all a blur after your last drink that you remember. I said, wow, you don't even know what you did the rest of the weekend. She started sweating a little bit. See, people always talk, see, you like to rain on people's parade. We just having a good time. No, I ain't trying to rain on your parade. But there's a way to have a good time.
That's right.
And it don't involve getting stoned out of your mind to have a good time.
That's right.
Where you can't remember nothing.
Can't remember nothing.
That's why these people be going out here killing people. And then they don't even remember. They walk away from that and don't even remember they was in the car driving. Wake up when the booze done wore off. Behind bar. Why I'm down here? Sir, last night you just killed somebody.
Huh?
What? Last thing I remember, I was at. They don't remember much after that. Yeah. See, there's highlights in all these. Let these words speak.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Yeah, you party. You can have parties. But have limits.
Oh, God.
Don't just get buck wild. You go and pick them frat kids up. And I don't call them frat kids, I call them brat kids. Because that's what I was picking up. They brat kids.
They brats.
Brats.
Yes, they
Man, they be falling all out, all over the place. I said, wow. These future leaders, and they just falling out. This is what your parents spending $20, $30, $40,000 for every weekend so you can do this? If that's the case, mine ain't never going to college. I educate them, I'll get them in a book club. Because this is ridiculous. That's why I said that little fella, he probably did. He ain't going to admit to it, but he probably did. But once that booze, them spirits, as they call them, once you get to passing them around, that's what you have. You have spirits.
All kinds.
You got Jack Daniel's spirits, Cavassier spirit, Hennessy spirit,
E&J spirit.
E&J spirit.
Gin spirit.
What you say, Elder?
Grey Goose.
Oh my gracious, you got the Grey Goose spirit. Oh my gracious. You all tore up then, ain't you? Huh? That Grey Goose that got you. You all messed up. You got all these spirits in you. Huh? Margarita spirit. You got all messed up. Yeah, you everywhere.
They let those spirits consume.
You don't know what's going on. So he said he didn't even perceive. Because that's something now. That's something to have somebody lay down to you, lay down next to you, and you don't even know
When they laid down.
that they laid down. You just,
Gone.
he didn't even perceive when she laid down, nor when she got up. That's like a coma.
Right. Which he was in.
And it came to pass on the morrow. Now, like I said, I'm not condemning him because, again, like Noah, he just done seen a horrible thing. So him getting drunk is understandable. I know people, they just lose one life. Somebody passed away in the family and they go out and they get drunk. So to see a bunch of people die, I know what that can do for some. And then on the morrow, The next day, the firstborn said to the younger, behold, last night I lay with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also. And you shall go in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. So they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him. And when he perceived not again. He perceived not when she what?
Laid down.
Nor when she
Rose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot.
I don't know where them girls learned that now, but they got him whacked out. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son and called his name Ben-Ami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. So these are the children of Moabites who was in the land with us, and the Ammonites who also dwelt amongst us.
They was nations already.
They were nations before there was Israel.
Before we was even Israel.
Hello?
They was mighty nations.
That's why the
already.
Christ said, I did not choose you, except my love on you, because you were greater than the other nations. I chose you because I swore to your father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because there's nations that's far older and far greater than you. These some of our people, Moabites, the Moabites and the Ammonites.
Be the cousins of Israel.
We cover a lot of things
Yes, sir.
and all that. And we are wrapping them up. We are but dust and ash. These are vessels which house the Spirit. And it's the Spirit that the Almighty is calling to. When the Almighty comes to us in the commandments and says, I want you to be ye holy, for I am holy. He's not calling to the body. He's not calling it to start with the body. He's calling it to start with the spirit, with the mind. Revolutionize the mind. That's why they say the revolution won't be televised. No, because you can't capture that. Not the revolution that comes from within. Are you revolutionary, brother? Yes. I'm not revolutionary like you, but I'm revolutionary. I'm not in the streets, but I'm revolutionary.
Hallelujah.
Because I seek the change from within. And I know the true change comes from within. Comes from within an individual. It comes from within a people. Don't come from outside. So we don't live for the body alone. We must live, start living for the Spirit. If we live for the Spirit, it will take care of the body.
Hallelujah.
Any questions? From anyone? That's where the war is at today. The war is on your spirit.
Self. Yes, sir.
That's why it don't matter if you're 300 pounds or $150. The war is against the spirit. They're beating down the spirit. Things are changing. See, my father didn't make a whole bunch of money. My father had one job, but times were different. He worked at one job, and times were different. But that one job, he took care of a household of 5 people. I remember I was riding around the other day, and I had stopped before I crashed into something, because the guy went back. He said, I'm gonna take you back to this decade. Because he's playing songs. And he said, in this decade, gas was 99 cents. I said, huh? I said, when was that? And I went back further than me. And he said, the year is 1982. I said, what the digging is that? We ain't seen, only 99 cents we done seen is on the tail end of some number that's in front of that, Jack. In other words, as this kingdom, and we're gonna come back to this, as this kingdom, as these things go along, this is what's happening in the world. So let me tell you something. The captivity of Israel goes hand in hand with the rise and fall, especially the fall of this last kingdom, this last beast. That's why the Almighty says, the greater the captivity, that's the sign that the kingdom of men is coming to an end. The more oppression put on you is a sign that the kingdom of men is ending. Because as he goes down, he's willing to try to take as many and crush as much as he can crush. Ever heard saying, beasts don't go down without a fight?
Right.
See, once he's wounded, that's when he's at his worst. Because he perceives his life to be in great danger. So everything he does with the intent of taking you out. Well, this beast is wounded. He know he wounded. So everything that he's going to do from here on out is to take people out, the righteous out. I'm shook now. I'm getting some weird looks from y'all. I don't know if that was a good class or a bad class or what. I'm kind of perplexed now.
It's a deep thought. That's it. It's a lot to think on. It's a lot to think on.
I covered a lot of ground. I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Can somebody give me a report of what went on last week?
Oh, can we give you a report?
At least one report.
A further report of what went on last week.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I gave my report. I know somebody that's never bashful and shy, so I'm going to ask them to give their report.
Okay.
Because they experienced probably a little more than I experienced too, because Brother Aaron got down there. Some things had already transpired, some things transpired. I know that when I got down there, just some things transpired that we wasn't expecting. Wasn't scheduled. So I was limited. And then I had to beat Pete back up here, so I had to even jet a little earlier. This was a trip that was kind of, I don't know what it was about, but I'll just say it was unique this time. Haven't been like this. I haven't had one like this. Usually everything flowed, but I know what it was about. Yeah. So it was unique experience, but it was good. I tried to go alone, even. But my sidekick back there, He wouldn't let me budge, Jack. I told him no. I said, I'm going by myself. He's
Brother.
like puppy dog. I had to look at him. I said, you really want to go? I said, come on. Midnight, I said, get your bag, pack it up, come on.
Okay.
And then he by my side the whole way.
Yes, sir.
And like I tell all of them, you know, and I had to always tell them, I stress this because it's in accordance with what I said, and then I'm going to let the brother too. I tell them this. I tell them all, I love all my children.
So true, so true.
Every last one of them, and I love them for the relationship we have. I love one because he's my first. And we have a relationship based on that. I love another because we done spent a lot of time together in great adversity. So we had that bond. I love my baby girl because that's my baby girl. That's why she don't get married till she get 80 years old. She can be like Sarah. She got from Abraham. Yeah, that's right. That's right. She'll be all right. It was done once, it can be done again. Then the youngest, I love him because he my youngest. He my baby. He my Joseph. I always telling on folks and that's you know. But what I tell them all is, I love them, and what I want them all to know is, how much money, you don't have to go out, be no big time athlete. We talk about those things, jokingly and stuff, we talk about, but you don't have to go out and be no big time athlete. You don't have to go out and be none of these things like I was saying that the world is telling you. You bring a smile to my face. You warm my heart. You make me ecstatic and happy when I see you. When I see you walk in the ways of the Almighty. And not because I told you so, but because you want to do it.
Oh, God.
And like I said, when that boy wouldn't let me leave the city, because it wasn't just like when he got out of hospital. I didn't tell him. I said, no, you're going home. And he said, no, I'm going to class. I said, man, you got to go home, man. You're just getting out the hospital. You're just getting discharged today. No, I'm ready to go to class. I said, well, hot dog, that didn't come from me.
That's right.
He don't know how that made me feel.
Oh, God.
When he wanted to go to the gathering, that didn't come from me. I told him, no, you stand back here. He was insistent by his action that he wanted to go. He don't know how that made me feel. Because as I tell them, I'm a realist. I won't be here always. I'm but dust and ash.
That's right.
But I need to go the way of all flesh, knowing with some assurance that you're going to continue in this way of the Almighty that we have started on. That's when I'm comfortable. That's when I'm pleased. All that other stuff, that's either here nor there. So it was a good trip. Like I said, one of my companions was with me. He had a good time. We had a good time. But others had a good time. And I'm going to let them tell you about it. Brother Hakai.
Hallelujah.
I know he had a good time. You know, everywhere he goes, he has a good time. He's going to make it a good time. Go ahead, brother.
I had a ball down at the conference. Praise Yah. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom. All praise to the mighty one of Israel. Hey, first and foremost, man, let me give a round of standing ovation to the first family, y'all. Let me give a standing ovation to the first family. Because they went down there and showed that on stage, you understand? Praise God. They went down there and sung them songs.
I seen them.
Did song. I mean, it was just a beautiful thing. And it was great. And And just gathering with everybody down there, it was just so much fun, it was just so much joy. Everybody was just, man, you really had to be there, because words really ain't gonna explain it in its entirety. But you had to be there. The lessons was given was unbelievable. And I'll be wrong by this saying, but get y'all money together. Save up your money. Start getting ready to come out to these conferences as a class, as a unit, because there's so much involved in the conference that you really miss out on a great deal. Not only just the unification with the brothers and sisters, but everything else that's involved in it. But there was a moray down there, Moray Malak, out of North Carolina. That's why I say get y'all money together, because just to let you know a little scuttlebutt, I spread the rumor first. We might be going to North Carolina for a conference. I'm just putting it out there because I heard about it, you know what I'm saying? So, and I heard it from more than one person. So, I'm just putting that rumor out there. It's bound to happen. Prepare yourselves now. Start putting up your pennies now so you'll be able to attend. I'm sure it's something you don't want to miss. But that brother gave a lesson, and I done heard these lessons so many times, but the way this brother delivered this message and how he started out the message, he started it out talking about Moray Elkanah and his experience and coming this way and serving the Most High Yah, and how Moray Elkanah and him were going back and forth and having conversations. And the one thing he just kept on saying was, man, this brother ain't have nothing but kind words. He ain't have nothing but kind words. Every time he said something, he said he ain't had nothing but kind words. And it was those kind words that he said to me that made me even look further into what he was saying. It was them kind words that he said to me that made me want to even go and dig deeper. Because I only want the truth. And I was like, man, praise Yah. Because the truth is what it is. But not only did that brother deliver a strong message, because that Sunday we had a barbecue, or a cookout, I should say. They gave us a cookout. We all sat, met, and had good times. But I found out talking with the brother that the brother also trained in the arts. Again, he trained men and women. So, if this message is going out there, we Israel, we got to start preparing and preparing to protect what's ours. Prepare to protect the blessing in which Yahweh is giving us. And I just tell you, I had a ball. I can't even calm myself down. I almost got in trouble sipping on 100% Concord juice. That's that grape juice. When you don't drink, anything that's pure might do something to you. So I turned up a little bit on that juice. And it was good. It was just good fun. All the brothers from all over the place was down there. And there was a lot of other teachers that was in the area that I didn't even know was in Georgia area that came up and gave phenomenal messages. Phenomenal messages. The one brother, I think his name was Moray Shalim. I think that was his name. And that brother gave a message about unity and coming together with your brothers and sisters, and let you know it was more than just coming together with your brothers and your sisters, but you got to be united, and it was just some beautiful things that was said. But I ain't gonna sit up here and hold it all up, you know what I'm saying? Because I know other people want to say something about what good time they had down there. But I tell you what, it would have been a whole lot more fun if I'd have had more people from my class down there with us. Those that was down there, we had a ball and we turned up together, but it would have been a lot more fun if we would have had the whole class of Cincinnati down there. But praise Yah, because we had a great time. I can't wait to do it again. And just so y'all, the first family, hey, I take my hats off to them brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Because they did their thing. I was so proud of them. Just listening to them sing and just be up there with so much confidence in doing it. It was just an amazing thing to see. So praise Yah.
Hallelujah.
Shalom.
I just wanted to praise y'all for like basically everything that's good and bad that's going on in my life. This morning I had a trying, difficult morning with one of my kids. Basically, she doing stuff that she knows she don't supposed to be doing, and she tried to sneak and do it. And me as a parent, I've been a kid before too. I've been a teenager, all of that before. So I'm always 100 with that. I'm always, my eyes is always, and she's supposed to be in one place, and she wasn't. She's supposed to be with her father, and it was a whole lot. So it kind of like was messing up my morning. I almost wasn't here, but something was telling me, y'all was speaking to me like, you need to have your butt in class this morning. You need to get up, get your clothes on and everything, and go and give the Father all his glory, because if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't even be woke this morning. But the situation with my daughter, it was really bothering me. Right now, it's still bothering me too, but right now I can't let that hinder me from being here and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I just ask everybody to pray for my daughter and for me, my whole family, because even though we hear and we see people out and hear and stuff, everybody may look at us like, they the perfect couple or this, that, and the other. They know how to have fun, they laugh, they're always together and things like that, but that's just the ones that's on the outside looking in. You don't really know what's going on. So, I just want to thank the Father for all the strength he's given me, all the sanity that he's putting into me, because I'm telling you, I was on 100 this morning. And it's like once I got out the truck and we was coming across the street, all of that really left me. It really did, because I knew where I was coming. And I was not about to walk through these doors and bring all that with me. I feel like even though I didn't get everything handled this morning, I still got the rest of the day when I get home later on. So, shalom.
Shalom. Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hallelujah. One last thing though, Corey. We did get to witness two brothers getting married down there.
Mm-hmm.
Moray
Out of Philadelphia.
out of Philadelphia got married.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that was a beautiful wedding. Also, one of the brothers from I think that brother was from Baltimore. I think the brother was from Baltimore, and they got married also. And so it was just a beautiful thing to see all the unity that everyone was together. It was just an amazing sight to see. I always look forward to our conferences. I always look forward to getting together with those who share in the same ideology or same walk of life as we in, who know that they are Hebrew Israelites and are striving to walk therein. It's truly just a blessing, and it's truly just a wonderful thing to be a part of that. And Israel is waking up. We're waking up all over this earth, and a lot of great things are happening. And these conferences, they're gonna get a lot bigger. And the more people wake up, the more they're gonna start coming out, and the more together we gotta be. As one of them brothers said, he said there's going to be a lot of Christian ministers, a lot of people in these other walks of life that's going to start looking this way. But if we ain't got our stuff together, you know what I'm saying? Things like little things, like we can't get here into the sanctuary on time for class, but we get to work on time. Little things. We don't know how to be kind to our brothers and sisters, but we be kind to everybody else. It's just the little things that we're doing that other people that's coming into this way of life, that's walking, that's waking up, realizing that they Hebrew Israelites, and they're going to be looking for places to go. They're going to see us. They're going to see you. But if you ain't got yourself together, and how they going to look at us like we just like the thing they just left, So it's important that we start doing the little things that y'all require of us, like wearing our fringes. You know what I'm saying? That's a little thing, but it's a little thing that sets us apart from everybody else. It's a little thing that's going to get people to notice you and acknowledge you, because whether you know it or not, they are watching you. And they're watching us, and they're looking at us, and they looking to see what we're doing. Are we doing the same things that they was doing? Are we acting in the same manner in which they are acting? So let us let Yah be our guide, and let Yah continue to lead us, and let us get better. Because the message, that's the message I'm hearing from the class out of us, is we got to get better. You know, we get better, we do better. The more that we learn and the more that you gain, you should be adding that to your life to become better. And to become not just better, but become better for Yah. Because in being better for Yah is going to make it better for everything that you can put your hands to do. So praise Yah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to also add that as parents, we have to be more, attentive to our children. I'm saying that last night when me and my friend Aaron was in the store, we walked in the store, and it was like 5 people in the store who was asking us, did we know who this 2-year-old child belongs to? So I'm looking around the store and I'm like, well, he got to be in here with somebody. So come to find out, when I walk out the store, I asked if it was the guy that was standing outside the store. I said, did you see who this baby came in the store with? He said, no, I did not. This little boy came from around the corner by himself.
Yep.
He said, I've been sitting out here for about 20 minutes, and when I was sitting out here, this little boy just came from the back, and he walked in the store on his own.
Yep.
So as a parent, a concerned parent, the people in the store, now these people in the store are like, I don't know if they Arabs or Indians. I really can't tell you what they are, Africans, I don't know. But they was like, well, we know the little boy's father. And so they were saying like they know the little boy's father, so they just keep him in the store with them. So I'm thinking that he walked in the store with someone and he came and they left him. But come to find out, when I found out that he came to the store by himself, that's when I really got concerned, because even though these people in the store may know his father, if them people wasn't who they were, they knew his father, they could have called the service people on him, or, did something to the baby or anything. So as me and my friend was walking back from the store, she said, where you going? I said, girl, I cannot go back in the house and not go look for these little boys' mama and daddy or somebody who knows them. So I done went to the other side, and he don't even live on the side that we stay on. He live on a whole different side of the complex. So I done went and knocked on about 5 or 6 doors. I done walked up a crowd of people and everything. She was telling me like, come on, like, so I'm telling her like, I can't. Not saying she wasn't concerned, but I'm like, I can't. I done bust out into tears and everything. I'm asking people, I'm knocking on doors and everything, coming fast. When I walked back to the store, there was somebody in the store that said they knew him, and his parents were sitting up the street drinking and doing God knows what, and they were sitting outside with the kids. So I'm thinking, if you were sitting outside with your child, how you gonna know that your baby walked off? So I'm like, by the grace of Yah, he put that in me, like, 'cause I was telling him, it was coming over me like, I can't. And I was outside in pajama pants with a scarf on my head and everything, with no brassiere on, nothing, but I was looking for this child's parents. Because I could not have went in the house and sat comfortably, knowing that it was a 2-year-old baby left at the store, where walked to the store by himself, and no one was out looking for him. So I just want everybody to know, like, be aware of what your kids doing, where they at, because how they say it's not just you, it take a village. So last night, I was part of that village. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yes, and you're absolutely right, because I don't know how many times and I'm not on there much, but when I get on there, I don't know how many times I just turn on or go to that Facebook page and I see all these things rifle through. Can somebody help me? My 4-year-old child missing. My 2-year-old child missing. This child missing, that child missing. And I'm disturbed by, I said, how all these kids gone missing like this? What's going on? But then and that's what I said, it's taking all things in consideration. It is shiftlessness and doing, like you said, just having that good time. That's why I said there's set limits. When I came up, my parents partied, but there was a time and place and they had structure how they partied, and they knew where we was at. Most time they done took me to White Castle, got me a big sack, told me went down to my aunt's house because she had a big house, 2-story, 3-story house, go upstairs, watch TV, close, had a White Castle, and I wasn't thinking about moving. While they downstairs cutting up, Jack, they down there just getting into it. I'm up there with my cousin trying to get through the door to get some on. I'm trying to protect them, but that's where I'm at. Where they left me, that's where I'm at. I wasn't all out in the street, running around all the neighborhood, stuff like that. They always knew. If they didn't know, that's when I got in trouble. But today it's not like that. And some of it, like I said, sometimes they doing that, and sometimes, as hard as it is, parents are also having to work around the clock.
They said it was their second time the baby had walked.
And so I see parents, well, where your father at? He'll work. Where your mama? She'll work. And they working double and things are just, I see kids walking to school. Babies. And I'm saying, wow.
Yep.
You know, and I'm thinking like, man, well, can I let David? And then another thing said, no, you can't let that boy walk down the street by himself like that, fool.
That's right, that's right.
Just because everybody doing it and it looks like it's the normal thing to do now. Oh, they big enough to walk. They're not. They're not big enough to handle a grown man with a devious mind that's going to come up and snatch them. Or a woman with a devious mind that's going to come up and snatch them. They not. They safeguard. My mother walked every day when I was in kindergarten to school, up there to get us, and up there to bring us back home until she drove. Then she drove every day. Huh? Even got my oldest talking about she wanted to transfer school close to the house so she can drive right up the street, get him, because she will every day. He said, man, I'm 18. I'm almost 18. I know, but that don't mean nothing. You going to get in that car. She going to come and get you. That's how it was ingrained, but that's not what's going on. Again, going back to what we've just been speaking on, things are different. Things are different.
Lot was raised a certain way.
He was raised a certain way.
You had to give them their propers when they came in the city.
Hello, because you can better believe some of them in the city would have never done
They
that.
wasn't raised.
They weren't raised that way.
Give me that. They were raised totally.
They were raised totally different. Totally different. And that's why it's hard on, especially for us, you have to be a little more integral, because that's why it's hard on our children. I know it is, because it's hard on us. See, that's what we got to admit. It's hard on us. We grown. We grown. So it's hard on them to come up in this society as it is today and not expect it to affect them. So I thank you for that. And we just got to pray Yah for His mercy. For His mercy. And keep at it. And keep at it.
You have to be vigilant nowadays.
Yes.
You know, even always, but even more so now.
Even more so now.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Scrutinize everything. What was that lyric in Heard Through the Grapevine? Son, I forget it. Where he said he heard it, so something about his sight and what he hear. But those that heard know the song, y'all know what I'm talking about. You just have to, like he said, be vigilant. But it's rough out here. No other comments from anybody else want to say how they enjoy Atlanta? I know you was wrestling. I see you wrestling back there.
All praises be to Yahweh, who made heaven, earth, and sea, and everything therein.
Hallelujah.
Really enjoyed ourselves. Had a crazy time getting there. We had like maybe 3 times where the semi trucks had veered into our lane to where we had to go onto the shoulder to keep it from smacking us. And I kept saying, I said, boy, they trying to take us out before we get there. You know, and I was joking about it, but I was like, wow, we really gotta, pray and just guard ourselves, because it was just crazy. And so, all throughout the way, we drove in the middle of the night, so it's late, and you see everywhere we went, you just see semis just swerve and they tired and don't want to get off the road, and it was just scary. And I just was like, oh my God, stay with them, get them to wherever they need to go, take them off the road, do whatever you need to do, so that they could nobody get into an accident, because it was really scary, and I just said, praise God, we made it through, we got there. And upon getting there, it was wonderful. We stayed till Sunday, went to the barbecue. The barbecue was nice. And it was funny because I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, but when we got there, they had food ready. They like, look, the little to-go boxes, get your food and get out. So, and I just was joking with myself that that's what they were saying, but it was, I enjoyed I enjoyed all 3 days. Hallelujah. I don't really know what else to say.
Hallelujah.
Oh, we performed.
I seen y'all.
And it was funny
Introduce y'all as
because
the first family.
First family. That's right. Our first family.
Our first family, yes.
so,
Hallelujah.
Time kept getting by, and I wasn't looking at my clock, but you know how when you in tune with day and night, whether you see it or not, your body lets you know. And so I kept thinking, I said, well, I know it's almost time. I said, well, maybe we won't get to this year. Because last year we didn't go, but I wasn't ready anyway. And I sure enough wasn't ready the year before that. But this year I was ready. I got up 9 something this morning, got ready, went down at 10 o'clock, harassed the brother like 5 times. Then went back, got my seat, harassed the brother some more. And then finally, Hayek had got to Moray Eltonot before I did, because I'm like, I keep harassing this brother, and I don't see where he's writing my name down. So I'm like, okay, I'm going over his head. I'm going to do it like I would do anybody else. And by the time I got to Brother Eltonot, Hayek was already right there. You know, I said, praise y'all. I said, y'all was going to make sure we got out here today.
Yeah.
And then, as the time kept going along, I'm like, well, maybe we won't get a chance to, this year. And the brother from North Carolina, he just kept saying, represent. I mean, he had to say it at least 8 times. I said, okay, y'all talking to me. Okay, I got the confirmation. And it just felt really good. It was nice to get that, because I kept thinking to myself, like, well, maybe not this year. Maybe we ain't as ready as we thought. But hallelujah, it was nice.
Oh,
It was nice to step out of my shell and watch my family step out of their shell a little more. So.
You ready? You ready? We had you. We had you.
Yes.
We had you. Yeah. Good. Hallelujah. Well, we're going to take a little break at this time. All right. And when we...
Hey, don't nobody want to get out.
I see. I'm wow.
We ain't supposed to take a break.
Wow. You don't want to get up? I said, we can't go into Daniel, but then,
Let's take a quick break.
But let's take a quick break. And when we get, Elder, if you please, would lead us in a prayer. And when we get done, cut this camera. But I do want to say something real quick after that.
Hey, Yahweh, creator of the heavens, the earth, and the sea, and all that in them is. We do thank you for choosing Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and choosing their seed after them to be an Elohim forever. And Yahweh, we do thank you for watching over us as we slept during the night. And we pray that you watch over all Israel as well as you watch over us. And that all Israel will rise with honor and glory to your holy and right name. Yahweh, have mercy on our souls, for we, our fathers, and our children have sinned against you, even to this very day. Be merciful, be compassionate, heal our land, and bring your people home. Yahweh, we thank you for your great goodness you have extended to each and every one of us by showing us your great name and your great law. And we pray that you give us the wisdom and the understanding to walk in your sight all the days of our life. And Yahweh, we pray that you be with us this day and every day. Grant us good health, keep us safe from all harm. And truly, Yahweh, vengeance does belong unto you. So allow your vengeance to fall upon your enemies and all of your people and your servants Israel. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Praise the Lord Yahweh. Yah is righteous all the time.
Day and night.
Hallelujah. Cut it.